Recubbed, a Lion God fanfic by Lionkingview. Chapter 8. Sarabi looked at her son. Thoughts were racing through her head. She knew that the past couldn't return, and that this whole conundrum was not an acceptable state of being. Simba had grown up long ago, and making him grow up again would be selfish and short-sighted to say the least. Sure, she couldn't help but smile when she saw her little cub again, but this cub was supposed to lead the Pride Lands. There was no doubt that Simba was a responsible king. A little strict, and maybe a tad bit paranoid about the safety of his offsprings at times, yet, when it came down to it, he knew how to lead, and he had become the leader he was because of what he had gone through while growing up. Having him grow up again would mean taking away who he was. Sarabi knew all of this too well. Sarabi also knew that the same rang true for Nala. Nala was a headstrong and determined queen, someone who knew when to show vulnerability and when to keep her guard up. Growing up during Scar's reign had taught Nala these things. It was a painful past, filled with moments of indignity and helplessness, but it was Nala's past. It was her story, her essence. Taking this away because of comfort and a longing to bring back the past was not reasonable. Yet it pained Sarabi to know that this sweet feeling of a time long gone would be torn from her paws yet again. Sarabi had talked to Serafina about this whole situation, and not much to her surprise, Serafina broke down in tears. Serafina told Sarabi how much it made her mad to look at her daughter being this young again. It had brought back memories of fear and uncertainties. Serafina and the rest of the Pride had always looked out for Nala, and to Serafina, any moment when Nala wasn't in her line of sight was a moment of fear. Had one of the hyenas mauled her to death? Had Scar abused his power as king and done the unspeakable to her? So many times Serafina would pace around nervously, not knowing where her daughter was. All those memories would flood her mind. Rafiki approached Sarabi and Serafina with half a coconut filled with some unknown fluid.
Sarabi, I've got the remedy here. I think it would be best if they took it as soon as possible,
the mandrill said. Sarabi was still looking at her son. Yes, of course. Will they start to remember everything? She asked.
Well, by tomorrow morning, I believe, answered Rafiki.
I want to talk to my son one last time before he starts to be himself again, said Sarabi as she walked towards Simba.
Now take your time. I'll be right there, responded Rafiki.
Simba and Nala were arguing with one another. No way, pouted Simba. Yeah, let's talk about it, countered Nala. Marrying you? That's a laugh, said Simba. Yes, like, really dumb, agreed Nala. Sarabi approached the two. What are you two talking about? She said with her usual motherly smile. Simba and Nala turned to Sarabi. Mom, did you and Dad and Nala's mom want me and Nala to marry each other? Simba asked. Sarabi chuckled. What if you do? Don't you like Nala? Sarabi asked in bemusement. Of course, I like Nala, but she's my best friend, and don't we need to be all mushy with each other to get married? And I take it you two don't feel all that mushy for each other? Asked Sarabi. Simba and Nala exchanged hesitant looks. No, they said in unison. Sarabi once again chuckled. Oh, okay, I take your word. so funny, Mom, said Simba as he rolled his eyes. Never mind then. Is it okay if I just stay here for a bit? Sure, Mom, said Simba. A brief moment of silence passed as the Queen lay down next to the two cubs. Queen Sarabi? Nala asked carefully. Yes, Nala, answered Sarabi. When Simba becomes king, does that mean I have to call him Your Highness? Asked Nala. Wait, does she have to do that? 'Cause that's dumb. I don't want her to do that. Everyone else, sure, but not her, protested Simba. Sarabi once again chuckled. No one needs to call anyone anything they don't want to, Sarabi explained. Good, because she's my friend, and best friends don't call each other your highness. Actually, hey Nala, Simba said. What? Asked Nala. I'm going to appoint you to be my royal best friend when I'm king, Simba declared. Is that a thing? Nala asked. I'll make it one. I will be king after all, said Simba. Cool, said Nala. So, what will I do as a royal best friend? She asked. I don't know. I don't know yet, but I'm sure you'll figure something out. Simba pondered. How about, as a royal best friend, I have to cheer the king up when he's blue, offered Nala. And obviously, the king has to make sure that the royal best friend is happy too, added Simba. Sarabi smiled at the two as they kept on making up all kinds of rules for their future kingdom. A few hours went by, and now the stars had come out. Sarabi made clear that it was now time for the two of them to go to bed. Nala and Simba kept on talking on their way back to the den. After Rafiki had given the two cubs the remedy, they started to get ready for sleep. Mom, Simba said. Yes, said Sarabi. When I'm king, what will you and Dad do? He asked innocently. Well, Sarabi hesitated. We'll be watching you, of course, she started. Like the kings of the past? Asked Simba. Like the kings of the past, answered Sarabi. Now sleep tight and remember that I will always love you, said Sarabi as she planted a small kiss on Simba's forehead. Mom? Simba asked once again. Yes, Sarabi once again answered. Could you sing me a lullaby? Simba requested. Of course, complied Sarabi. Then she sang. As the rest of the pride slept, Kion had started his shift of watching the den. Suddenly, Fuli appeared seemingly out of nowhere. Fuli? But your shift starts after Bunga, said Kion. Yes, I know, but I want to talk to you, explained Fuli. About what? Asked Kion. About this is so stupid. Never mind, declared Fuli as she started to walk away again. Fuli, wait a minute. What is stupid? Asked Kion with genuine interest. Fuli sighed. She turned back to Kion, opened her mouth to speak, and then just closed it again. This couldn't be that hard, surely, she thought to herself. Just say it, she thought. Then she took a deep breath, opened her mouth, and said in one incomprehensible mess of a nervously spat out sentence, I have a crush on you, and it's okay if you don't share those feelings, just forget I ever said anything. It didn't particularly help that she was mumbling too. What? Asked Kion in confusion. I have a bloody crush on you, Fuli almost yelled. She quickly covered her mouth and turned an immense shade of red. She hoped that she hadn't said this too loud. Kion now looked at her with big eyes. You have a crush on me? He asked, being taken aback by these news. Yeah, said Fuli while she sheepishly avoided Kion's glance. What I want to know is... Fuli fumbled for words. Do I have a crush on you too? Kion guessed. Yes, Fuli said, waiting for an answer. End of chapter 8.